Right now on Up with KREM, we remain under a weather impact alert. And as we get you ready here for the weekend, I'm tracking the risk here of some elevated to critical fire danger. So this weather impact alert, it is in place for the day today as well as tomorrow, as we are going to be seeing some dry weather conditions as well as some gusty winds. And unfortunately, that could lead to the start of new fires. So what you need to be prepared for as we move forward is our focus today is going to be on this red flag warning that is primarily impacting the central part of the state. Dry conditions, our most elevated winds today are going to be in central Washington. Before, across the region, we're preparing for those winds to pick up on Saturday. And these fire weather watches that are in place for now most likely will be upgraded to red flag warnings. So I do want to talk about how dry our conditions are expected to get this afternoon. And this is a look at our future relative humidity, as those values are going to drop significantly for this afternoon into early evening for Spokane, as low as 10% and even as low as 9% south to Kennewick and the lower Columbia Basin. Of course, our conditions, they improve overnight, but then we drop again tomorrow afternoon. So this, along with the elevated winds, is why we have that fire risk. Let's get into the timing of those winds, because through this afternoon, gusts toward central Washington are going to be around 25 miles per hour. It is still going to be a little bit breezy for eastern Washington and North Idaho, but as we fast forward into tomorrow, look at how widespread our elevated winds are going to be, really spanning from central through eastern Washington and through the North Idaho Panhandle. In fact, tomorrow we could even see gusts as high as 40 miles per hour, and that's why we have that critical fire weather danger impact for Saturday. Air quality alerts remain in place here through the rest of this morning. They again could potentially be expanded. We have been waking up to some unhealthy air quality up toward North Idaho and Bonners Ferry, as well as Sandpoint. We've also been seeing some unhealthy air quality south to parts of northern Oregon and into the Walla Walla area. Now, this model's depiction of how the smoke is going to move over the next couple of days is just one estimate. Because of those strong winds out of the south-southwest, a lot of this smoke is expected to be pushed further up toward the north, and we could even see a bit more of a clearing trend come Saturday afternoon. But of course, we'll have to see if any new fires start and the activity that actually transpires. Highs this afternoon in the mid-90s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We are looking at another round of some low triple digits toward Richland and the lower Columbia Basin. As we move forward, our temperatures gradually cool by Sunday into the mid-80s. So that is going to be a bit closer to our average for this time of year, as we are expected to hang on to a mostly dry forecast all the way here through the end of next week. A reminder, you can always stream our live local radar and get updates on the forecast for free on the KREM 2 app. Welcome back. It's time to get a look at the forecast, where we are under a weather impact alert for today as well as tomorrow, as much of the region is going to be facing elevated to critical fire weather danger. We are going to be seeing some very dry conditions plus gusty winds, meaning that new fires could be started easily and spread rapidly. And this could also cause some trouble for existing fires. So as far as what we have in store here, widespread red flag warnings for much of central and eastern Washington as well as the North Idaho Panhandle. The biggest concern being very low relative humidity, plus winds that will continue to increase through Saturday. So it's what we're monitoring closely. For the day today, our relative humidity levels are going to start to really drop significantly by late afternoon into early evening. When we're talking relative humidity, anything below 30% is considered dry. And so when we're falling to single-digit values here, that is extremely dry. And we are set to see that up toward parts of the Okanagan Valley this afternoon, as well as south to the lower Columbia Basin. Into tomorrow afternoon, our relative humidity values again are set to drop down into the teens. So with that, it is going to be very dry out there across the region this weekend. And not only is it going to be dry, but the concern on top of that is going to have to do with our elevated winds. So winds are going to be strongest this afternoon towards central Washington, where gusts could reach up to 25 miles per hour. It's still going to feel a bit breezy across eastern Washington and North Idaho. But as we fast forward into Saturday, early afternoon, that's when across the region our winds are really going to pick up, where gusts could reach 40 to 45 miles per hour. We'll see that into early evening, and this is the big trouble when it comes to that elevated fire weather risk. We're also still dealing with some air quality issues, air quality alerts in place for these areas that are shaded in gray. The one thing to watch as we move forward here is the potential for a lot of the smoke and haze to be pushed out with those stronger winds coming out of the south-southwest, but of course along along with that comes the potential for new fires to start. So it's something we monitor closely this time of year. Highs will be in the mid-90s for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, but we're looking at another round of triple-digit heat south to the lower Columbia Basin. We're even seeing that through the LC Valley. As we move forward here, the biggest concern tomorrow is going to be the widespread winds, not only because it could lead to new fires starting and spreading rapidly, but also because we could see things like choppy lakes as well as difficult driving for high-profile vehicles. Temperatures start to drop by Sunday into next week. Highs will be in the mid-80s, and it will be mostly dry through that extended forecast, which is pretty typical for the end of July and the start of August.